All right, then everybody, this is Yara here, and I'm over here with the ninth place winner out of 504 or 506 people, I believe, regional. And he came in ninth. This is the second time that he actually places ninth at a regional. He
Third
got
time in a row.
a
At
third
the same regional.
At the same regional, yeah, over here in Dallas, Texas. So pretty insane. So anything you want to say before we get started with the deck profile?
Shout outs to Yada for having me again. And then GM boys, they're all supportive. They really keep asking me every round updates. You still undefeated? I was XO1 all the way through round 8. So I was undefeated until round 8. I had one draw. And then that's when I got my first loss, which was to Drytron. That was my only loss. Shout outs to Alan and Jimmy, also the boys that I test with. Neem and JD for letting me borrow cards. That's about it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So if you want, we can get started with the deck profile. Then.
All right. So I played the Flu deck.
Oh yeah,
of course.
okay.
All right. So we play one card starter, Rabina, 3 of them,
Yeah.
3 Eagle, the normal stuff, and I stuck with the 1 and 1 for these two. Like I didn't feel that I needed to bump them up.
Okay.
Like I bumped it up and I tested it and it still didn't. Well, Jin shout out to Jin too. Like Jin, like just stick with 1 because he didn't feel that I needed an extra one either. Because I was asking him for opinions and theorizing with him, and he was just like, he doesn't think that I need an extra one. Because I was about to cut the second M pin for a second street because sometimes you need a small bird with the. Well, it's better to have a small bird with the quick play spell bird. But he said that M pin is going to come up more, especially if I get into a grind game, which is true. And then the small bird tech cards that aren't Floowandereeze, infamous bear statue that everybody hates. And then still playing the Harpist. Harpist is one of probably the best cards. If you aren't on this card and you're playing this deck, you're playing it wrong. These two should be a staple in the deck at this point. Just like how everybody thinks Rise is a staple in this deck, Harpist should be the same way.
Yeah, you popularized this, right? I've seen a lot more people using this after you put it on the channel. So, would you ever cut this, or you say it's like standard now?
I think it's a standard now. Okay. Like if you cut it, like this helps you loop Ryza. Like a lot of people try to play the double Ryza nonsense. You don't need to play double Ryza. You just play one Harpist, one Ryza, and then you just loop them back and forth forever. Yeah, and then if ever this hits the grave, you just Ryza put this back into the deck, and then search it back out with Ravina again. Which was some things I was trying to do multiple times yesterday because like they would always attack over this, and I'm like, well, I'm about to probably recycle this with Ryza and just go Rabina get it again. And also it's 7th king stat, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of your bigger normal birds. And then the big birds, so like I said, we stuck with the double pin. They're not once per turn, they're once per turn per copy. So sometimes you get the normal summon about 8 times a turn. And then there's Avion, your Omni Negate. And there's the rods that we were talking about right there. Just the one.
I've seen some people like cutting the EPIK Avian. Or do you still think it's like mandatory in the deck?
I think in a simplified game state, you just stick this on the board.
Oh, okay.
You stick this on the board and it applies enough pressure. Like, they have one card where they're top decking. You have this, you have the negate. I don't think they can win. You're going to keep the tempo. Because then next turn, what are you going to do? Normal summon Ravine all over again. And then, of course, you got the 3 hand traps. Those are the 3 hand traps I made. That's it.
Okay. The best hand trap in the game, right?
This was glued yesterday. Stuck to my hand. I got an opponent. I opened it game 1, 2, and 3 against him. Game 3, he picked up my shifter. And I was like, why is he picking up my shifter? Like, I've already resolved shifter twice on you. This is the 3rd time. Like, are you picking up to like read it? Like you don't understand what it does still? No, he picked it up and he started feeling my sleeves, bro. Like he thought I stacked this card.
What?
Like he started feeling it, and I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just checking." I was like, "Oh, by all means, you want to check it that I mark my cards or something?" But nah, it just happened to be glue yesterday. And then, of course, 3 map. That's mandatory with the 1 terraforming. And then for extra going second card. Terraforming is going second because I play one mine. But I don't think I mined anybody yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Like, it was there, but I didn't ever have to use it. It was there for a backup plan at that point. I was like, if they mess me up, if they hand trap me, I'll just drop this and we'll be good for a turn or two. And then I will be able to get enough resources. And then if they have a board, my birds will resolve for sure. Like, I don't even need a call by or anything at that point, because if they have two monsters, I'm only going to summon two, so you better have another hand trap to negate that last one, because the first one's resolving. And then, best quick play spell in the game, I would have to say. Be like, somebody tried to Mystic Mine me yesterday. I was like, that's cool, you Mystic Mine. And then I was just like, alright, so activate Banish, search, gain 500, and I was like, set, in turn, and Mystic Mine goes away. This card is also broken right here. I sent a Despia board almost completely away with this one card. And when I was doing it, they're like, hold on, it's not once per turn? Like, no, it's not once per turn, and it also doesn't activate. And then they're like, what? Can I read it? And then, of course, you have Prosperities. I still feel that Prosperities better. Sometimes you need a dig for a very specific card, like you need map and a baby bird to play. So drawing two, I still don't feel that's the best way.
Yeah, I always get comments on the videos. They're like, "Oh, is Prosperity like mandatory in this deck?" And like, I don't think Extravagance is a good replacement for it, right?
I don't think so, but some other people prefer the extra because it's a +1. But the +1 might not let you play. A dig 6 might, so more than likely.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So I dig 6 and sometimes I dig 9. But so when I dig 9, I'm pretty like, I didn't dig 9 yesterday, but I remember round 1, I activated Map and he got rid of it. I think I don't remember how he got rid of it, but then I just activated Duality and I flipped 3 cards and the first card was Map, and then he already knew which card I was about to pick up, and then he was like, must be nice. So I just still had full combo at that point. Then I played 2 books. Book came in clutch yesterday, especially at least in one of my games, because a Lubra was trying to attack over Barrier at you in battle phase. So then I was like on deck, book, and at that point, the momentum is passed right back to me because he had to pass turn at that point. And then of course, one call by. If it was at 3, I'd still be playing 3.
Yeah.
And for some reason, people don't think this card is a main deck.
Dark Blue no more. Okay.
So for some reason, they don't think people main deck this. Because I was playing against, I think, Tinyi Sword Soul. He made a full board, and I just let him go off, and then I just dropped this. And then he's like, who the heck main decks Dark Ruler no more? And then I was like, I guess I do. And then I just played. I thought he had Blackout set because he had 2 sets, but they weren't Blackout, so I just won the game. I just broke the whole board with unexplored wins.
Right.
I was just sending his stuff away. Then the standard one trap. Yeah, this is what caused me my loss. I forgot to banish it from grave to Book of Moon. He was playing Drytron, so he gammaed back Zeta in attack position. And I did not think about quick effect banish this after I summoned, what's his name? Impin. After you tribute summon, you can banish this technically out of grave in Book of Eclipse. But I forgot about that, and that cost me that game. The match, pretty much, because that was game 3. And then, of course, this card right here. I still main deck 3 of these. Drytron player was very surprised when I flipped this on him because I actually won that 1 die roll, or I only won 3 die rolls yesterday. That happened to be one of them, and I opened this, so he was quite upset about that. But he was still fun to play with, like compared to some of the other players I had to play against yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with the 1 heart piece, you can activate that from hand, right? So.
Yes, with Harvest on the field, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are times that if you're about to go into time, and let's see, you need to go Rabina, search Harpus, and then Eaglin searches Impin. Impin needs to go search Quick Play. Impin grants you an additional summon. You need to summon the Harpus. Okay, and then you go and activate Quick Play spell, and banish your Impin or anything. If you have anything else in hand, you can banish it out as well. They say Ash. You said cool. Activate Featherstone from hand, and you just win for sure. Like that could have came up yesterday, but I didn't. I was on the clock, so I was trying to work way faster than that. So then I didn't think of that. I was like, I could have made it foolproof, because if he had an Ash, then I would have had another draw. Yeah. So that's just something to think about. And then you want to go extra deck?
Sure.
The infamous extra deck. You know?
Yeah.
All right. So we still play a Link Revo, because your little birds can go into Link Revo. Then you can make a dark. After you make a dark, you can attempt to make access code, which is still a thing. So that's not bad. And of course, I just got all these little ones for utility, and this one's definitely to go into Zeus. This searches, this puts back floodgates or other spells and traps. So, and then you can still attack with it and attempt to make a Zeus. So, same reasoning. And of course, your little Christmas package. Nobody Maximuses in this format. At least I hope not, because if you do, and you're playing against Despia, you're giving them a +2. You give them +2 regardless of what you do if you Maximus them.
Yeah.
You're either giving them 2 searches, or you're giving them 1 search and your Macaba's been negating 1, so you still lost a card. So do not play Maximus this format. And then there's just this, just in case, because sometimes I'll just banish both of these off extract Prosperity, and then keep these 2, because I'll pop 1 and search 1 and still be able to play. But that never happens. And then utility, Phoenix, Unicorn, and then just in case I had to play Anaconda or something that's like undestructible, I need to get rid of it somehow.
Yeah, because I feel like this deck has problems getting into like invulnerable bosses, right? That are like over 3,500 or something like that. So that's a good out to it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's an argument to play Snao, because Snao gives you an additional 3 normal summons that does not lock you out of your extra deck. So the argument to play Snao is you play Snao, you get that granted 3 summons, you put 3 summons on the board, they're monster, and that it's all gone, and you go straight into this. So there is an argument to play Snao now. Yeah. So I debate about Snao as well, like at least in the side deck.
Yeah.
Depending on the matchup. All right, let's. In the side deck, we played Duel, because if we get close to time, and some people, the decks that can usually burn you for time, usually searches cards. Because I played test against my boy Jimmy, and he was playing Earth Machines, and I didn't have a card to stop him besides for Shifter, and he can kind of play through Shifter in that deck at least, as long as he can keep searching and put bodies on the board. So he went Gustav burns me in testing. So I was like, well, if I just drilled you, you wouldn't have been able to do that. And then he suggested that I need to play 2 of these for time as well.
Oh, snap. This big dog with him.
He said right now there are so many spells and traps or monsters effects that trigger, that starts a chain, that you can chain this to it and guarantee gaining life points. And if they try to push any harder, you just win. Like your opponent going first and you open this and they're trying to play a combo deck, you just win. Because this says you burn half your life points if you don't gain any. But if you can chain it to something, then you're guaranteed to gain. Yeah. And then I respected back rows, of course. So we got 3 Twin, 1 Harpies, and then I want to continue outing stuff also for the mirror match. Second Mind, just in case. Put it in, but I saw it multiple times, but never slapped it down. And then, of course, 3D Barrier.
One of the best cards in the format, right?
Despia 4 times. Sword Soul 1 time. So kind of just killed the match, especially with 3 Featherstorm already in main. And then of course The one trap trade. Oh, I actually used this on Drytron, and instead of calling Ritual, because I already drove him that turn, but he still had access to Gamma, and another what do you call it? Drytron. Gamma brings back a Drytron, which that means he's probably going into a Zoo. So I just flipped this and called XZ. So that skipped the turn pretty much. And that's when he put the Mystic Line on me, because he went into the Herald Link and then just attacked into my end pin. And then had no monsters on board and then slapped down a mine. Yeah. So then during draw phase on my turn, I flipped over with a quick play spell card and banish in game 500 and search a card, set another card, and pass back to him. And, Mystic Mind fizzles.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the question that I had for you. So a lot of people were saying that Floowandereeze was going to be the buy now that they're sending like a Banshee with the branded fusion and stuff like that. So did you struggle against that? Because I know they can send Banshee and activate Zombie World in Despia.
All right, so that's cool, but that's post side. So what is it? Nobody, I think one Despia player resolved Zombie World because I shifted. So they don't want to waste their Zombie World or their Banshee at that point, because if this is gonna get banished, what was the point of sending it? So there, I didn't get Zombie World my game 2s because that's when they went first, and then so then it's just like, okay. If it's banished already, then it's safe. That's why, like I told you, Shifter was glued to my hand, and I don't understand why people say Shifter's not that great of a card against the Despia matchup. I think Shifter's an amazing card, because after my first Despia, I think was round 4. That was the first time I hit Despia that day, I believe. I don't remember exactly. I would have to look at my matchups, but I realized that I drew it for a 6 card, and then I just discarded it, and I turned off his Mirror Jade. So I was playing against a dead Mirror Jade at that point, which made me very comfortable. Yeah, because his hand wasn't that great, and then I think his only disruption was Mirror Jade. So me being able to throw the Shifter killed the Mirror Jade, because I don't think Brennan and Red was set, nothing was set. So it was just that, and I was just like, oh, I'm going to capitalize on that. So yeah.
All right, sounds good. That was an awesome deck profile. Congratulations on getting 9th at the regionals here in Dallas, Texas, Kevin. Appreciate it. Thank you.